Hi Paola, thank you very much for the speech. It was really nice. Where you told me actually already that you were not anxious at all because you're used to talking in front of.
Yes, that's a bit different from what I am used to, but it's okay.
And how did you feel? Like, was it nice to have so many people in front of you? Did you feel the energy of the audience?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's charging.
Yes, it's nice.
My first question is why is gender inequality in Italy a fact? Is it a cultural thing?
It's also cultural. I mean, there are a lot of causes, so it's very difficult to say that it's only one factor that determines gender gap in Italy. Gender inequality depends on culture, as I said before, because there is this very large stereotype that that it's very difficult to be a good mother and a good worker. And so family relationships are also very difficult in this term, because basically also when women work outside, so for the market, they remain the main caregiver at home for children and for domestic work. So this means that it's very complicated. And then there is also a labor market issue, because firms are somehow hostile with women much more than with respect to men, especially for careers. And then there is an institutional factor, so it depends on policies, it depends on the government, on the institutions, which are not very family friendly in this country. So basically, if you have a child and he is very little, someone in the family has to take care of him or her. So that's very difficult, because at the end it's the woman who does it. So it's a kind of vicious circle, because this culture and family responsibility issue, firms know that this happens, and so they anticipate this, and they say, okay, so I'm not going to promote a woman or to hire a woman, because then I expect that she's going to take all the responsibility in the family and with children. So they anticipate this. So women at the end receive a lower salary, lower opportunities in the job market or up to careers, and therefore then when you go back at home and there are a man and a woman, and they know perfectly well that the man has higher chances of success or promotions, at the end they have to decide who's taking more care of the children or family responsibility. It's the woman, because she is losing less in terms of the job market. And so this behavior continues. So it's a kind of vicious circle, because then some women stay at home, and so firms anticipate that they are staying at home, and this is going on.
And what do you think are because I believe that each gender has different leadership characteristics, because we're different, yeah. So what are the leadership characteristics that women have as opposed to men?
Yes, there are different characteristics, especially in terms of the relations with the others. For instance, women has higher better possibility to interact with other people, and they are less aggressive usually with respect to men when they interact with other people. And there is also another interesting feature, which is risk aversion. Women are typically less take less risky behavior, which may be good, especially in some sectors, especially in this period.
Financial diversity.
Yes.
That's why more women should be recruited in the financial sector to have a balance.
To have a balance, because men tend to be more risky.
And more aggressive. And I fear the scenario where there is the
another thing, so they are multitasking.
Yeah.
Which is not exactly the characteristic.
Depends on the character as well.
Yeah, but women typically can do much more things together.
But my question was, what if we take it to the other extreme? A working woman that is stressed, and how does she find the balance to be feminine, to be sensitive, to have...
Yeah, that's...
How do we protect ourselves? Because that is, I think, also a very, it's a trend of the modern world that we live in. Because we want to be beautiful, want to be sensitive, but at the same time we want to be good in our jobs. But at the same time, as you said, we get lower salaries than men. So how do we find the balance?
That's very difficult. So the idea is that if you live in a context somehow that helps you, that's really good. So Context means that you have the same opportunities as men. If you put effort, this is recognized. You don't have to fight against additional factors. So it's always very complicated to find, an equilibrium. But if on top of that, you live in a context or in a frame, in a situation or in a culture, in an environment that does not help you in any sense or tries to obstaculate your efforts and your aspiration, that's very bad.
And a final question: how would you inspire women, young women, to take leadership?
They have to put for sure their own effort always and a lot of energy, and also choose something that you really like to do in your job, and choose the right husband also, because that's very important.
Yes. Thank you very much for the interview, and wish you a very nice day.